What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I want to talk about the sneaky things that narcissists do to force communication. So of course, we all know that the narcissist cannot accept no contact. They cannot accept, low-level contact. They can't handle not being able to communicate with you. And the longer it goes on, the more they try to come up with a plan to get in touch with you. See, they don't respect rules. They don't respect boundaries. And they'll show that to you just by, just doing anything they can out of desperation to get a hold to you. And sometimes what they do is use people as a gateway to even play on your emotions. That's just how evil they are. Narcissists will use anything they can. They'll bring up any little thing that they know will touch you in some type of way so that they can get a response out of you. They will completely fabricate things that has happened, and just add on to it, or just, really over exaggerate what actually happened. And they just turn it into a flat out lie just to be able to communicate with you. And one of the ways that they'll do this is they'll do it like, say, for instance, that you have co-parented, but your children are now young adults. And so the narcissists, they still have a relationship with, their children. And, they know that they can use that child. They know that they can use that child to kind of play on their emotions, which will get to you. Because they know one thing is that, don't mess with my children. I don't care who you are, do not mess with my kids. But narcissists know that if they use that they're going to get some kind of act right out of you. So, they know that you'll end up contacting them just to speak on that particular situation. But the narcissist will use it as a way to, feel like that, oh, so now you can reach out to me. It's like, yeah, but look what you had to do to get something out of me. You had to use our children, to play on my emotions because then that I will reach out. And that is the only reason why I'm trying to reach out. And then narcissists, they'll say things like, look, I don't want to be like this, because they just refuse to accept the fact that that you just don't want to deal with that anymore. They refuse to accept it. And so what they'll start to do is offer you things like a peace offering or just anything to make you think that, I understand where you're coming from, but can we just start over? This is a whole new me. They'll even go that far and say that they're not the same person they used to be. I had a narc tell me that, I could admit to that. I could admit to that. I'll go ahead and accept that. Well, you can't help but to accept it because it's the truth about you. So when they say things like that, it's the small things that they say in a conversation that, a lot of times it goes over our heads because in the heat of the moment, you're not really listening word for word for everything that comes out the narcissist's mouth. You're just trying to get your point across. You're just trying to explain yourself. You're trying to plead with them and get them to understand something. So you're not really paying attention to the tricky words that they use to let you know that they are responsible for this whole, this whole charade that they're putting on. A lot of time it'll go over our heads. But the narcissists, they'll admit to their wrongs, but they'll say, I'll go ahead and take that. And when they say that, they're still not really taking full responsibility. They're not genuinely feeling responsible for the chaos that they've caused. If anything, they want you to feel like they're being the hero. I'm being a bigger person. I'll go ahead and I'll just go ahead on and take that L, go ahead and give it to me. I'll accept it. You know, I'll take that charge even though I'm innocent. But I'll take that charge just to give you what you want. And it's not even about giving you what you want. So never let the narcissist play on your head like they giving you something that you don't deserve. By right, you know, out of respect, they should feel that way automatically. It's not about what you feel like you deserve just because you feel, you know, entitled. No, that's the narcissist's way of thinking. That's the type of mindset they have. They feel entitled to everything. That's why you're in the situation you're in, you know, finding yourself in an argument, in a back and forth after not speaking with them for a whole year. And then you notice once you open that portal again and you back to what you left off, and you feel uneasy. You feel like you're in a toxic environment. You don't feel right. It's because you haven't been there in so long. You feel caged again, you know. And I got this from Soluminati channel. He said, you know, don't attach yourself to things that doesn't make you feel good. And for a long time, that was a way of life for us. That's what we were used to. And so by not being there for so long, once we return back to that space, it takes us back. It's like a trigger, and all we want to do is just escape. So we find different ways of trying to get the narcissist to understand, and then we have to think about, like, wait a minute. You know, I've been here before. I know what you're doing. You just kind of got to, you know, snap yourself out of it. Because if not, the narcissists have you right where they want you. They have you right back in that same headspace, you know, of the crazy making that they do, making you think that you should be apologizing for something that you don't even know what you're apologizing for. That's what they do. And if they see that you kind of got a strong hold on, you know, you standing on what you really believe in, and you just can't take me there no more, that's when they'll say, okay, well, you're right. I'll go ahead on and accept that. I'll take that charge. I'll take it. You can't help but to take it because you're guilty. You know, you're guilty of it. I'm not just falsely accusing you of anything. I'm telling you actual factual things that has happened between us that caused me to get out of the situation with you. And after all this time, you still don't see where you were wrong. So you're not doing me a favor in saying, it's okay, I'll go ahead on and take that. Just so what? So I can be back there for what? What are the benefits of me returning back to your life? There's no benefits. I'm not going to get anything out of it. It's going to be pure hell and abuse all over again. And I pass. I could do without it. So that's how they play on your emotions. And what they do is they get people who they know are close to your heart. They get to people who they know care about you. And if you witness this person, you know, stressing or, you know, just overthinking about things, you're going to question them about it. And when it goes back to the narcissist being the root cause of it, then you know that the narc is doing this to try to get to you. I know that it's kind of hard to explain, but a lot of times this happens with the co-parenting. When you're co-parenting with a narcissist, a lot of times this happens with the older children, like the young adults, because they can explain better than a child. Like the narcissist, it's kind of like it always seems like they win when the children are much younger. Because I went through that. I was threatened with, I'm going to get full custody. Like that's the number one thing they use when you get out of a relationship with them and you have kids together. They love to throw up the fact that they're going to take your kids from you. That's the number one thing they use because they know that that is going to really, really hurt you more than anything. It's for a parent to hear that, you know, they're going to lose their child. And so that's why they use that the most, because they know they're going to get the reaction they need out of you. So narcissists, they play dirty. They hard hitters, and they don't care, how they hurt you. Their main goal is to get your attention, to get something out of you. And they will definitely use the kids to do that. And it never stops. They'll do it even when the children become adults. They will do it. They will go to these children and make up lies and make it seem like there's something wrong with your mom or there's something wrong with your dad. You need to go check on them. I'm worried about you. They like to play on your emotions and make you think that they care about the person. That's why they came to you, in order to get you to give that message so that you can open up the lines of communication again. That's just their sneaky way to get back in to communicating with you again, because of course they do not respect the boundaries. So those are just like one of the biggest signs to look out for when dealing with a narc. And how they break no contact and try to play on your emotions. They break the no contact by playing on people's emotions, and they do all of that just to get to you. And then once they get you again, you'll see that nothing has changed. And the good thing is that God has blessed you with the spirit to be able to discern all these things in people and know that they cannot get to you. There's no greater feeling than to know that a person, that where they really coming from, like you able to see them. I know your true character. I know what you're doing, and you cannot do it to me because, I'm already on top of it. So that's a really, really good thing. Just knowing the person's intentions from the beginning. And also know that, keep in mind that they will never change. A narcissist is not going to change, no matter how much time has went by. So that's just something to think about. Thank y'all for watching. Leave your thoughts down below, and I'll talk to you soon.